For this one, buckle up and vaccinate your children, because we're going to a time full of prohibition, jazz and the Spanish flu. The 1920s.
But don't worry, you won't come into contact with all the dancing, drinking and the other fun activities this decade has to offer. You're a French signalman in the middle of nowhere on a night shift. The only thing to keep you company is a sandwich you forgot in the locker a few weeks ago. Could this get any worse? Yeah, it could. How about a random old guy in his pyjamas covered in dirt stumbling into your signal hut, scaring the ever-loving shit out of you, claiming that he's the president of France and just fell out of a train? Yeah, this happened.
Introducing President Paul Deschanel of France, an intellectual elected to be president on the 18th of February 1920. He had big ambitions for his presidency, but sadly his health declined over the 7 months he was president. But although he only had 7 months in office, he still had a pretty interesting presidency. For one, he was a long-time death penalty opponent, which just sounds wrong considering that he's French and executions are kind of their thing, but still he managed to be the only French president until 1981 who didn't execute anyone. And this was at a time when all the cool kids were still doing it. Although he had some really modern ideas, his declining health still was a culprit of some rather bizarre events. For example, at one point he was given a bouquet by some schoolgirls. That doesn't sound that bad, right? Well, he proceeded to throw it right back into their faces. Another situation took place at a state meeting, during which he just walked out, straight into a lake, fully clothed. And lastly, the train thing. About a month after he was elected, Deschanel was traveling on the presidential train and decided to do what every responsible adult would do. Take his sleeping pills while staring out the abnormally large, completely opened window of his wagon. Why exactly he did that? Well, who knows, but in some cases sleeping pills can cause hallucinations, which is why I like to believe it went something like this.
Ah, what a beautiful evening, standing here in my room, with an open window, on a wait is this hit artist and singer Rick Astley. Damn.
Like we've already established, Deschanel wasn't really what you would call average. So, unlike most average people, Deschanel somehow didn't severely hurt himself by falling off a moving train. And through that chain of events, we are back at the severely confused signalman. So what have we learned today? That mental illness is a serious problem that most of us will probably face at some point in our lives? No. We've learned that there's a good reason train windows don't and shouldn't open. Good night, kids.